These are the ridiculous headlines that are going around right now, that Andrew Garfield is already walking back those Spider-Man No Way Home denials. That is far from the truth.
I've of course, I've heard all the rumors of everything, and to be frank, I think it's a really cool idea. but as a fan, just as a pure fan, to have it's a really cool idea. But yeah, as I've said previously, it's not something that I hate being given the responsibility of disappointing people. But yeah, no, it's not something that I've been asked about or anything like that. But never say never.
Andrew made a statement that he never received a phone call from Marvel Studios, and he feels bad for fans who are convinced that he will be involved in this film. He also clarified that if Marvel Studios wants to give him a call, he is so down for it because he's still very passionate about Spider-Man and returning to play the character, and he feels bad because he doesn't want to disappoint fans. That's all it was. And that he's also a fan of what Marvel Studios is doing with Spider-Man. So this is all good news, because majority of people over the years assumed that because he had a bad falling out with Sony Pictures, that he would never, want to return as a character. Yet when he was rumored as a possibility to voice the character in a Spider-Verse animated sequel, he was already down for that as well, and this is like a while ago. So this is great news, because if anyone has ever met Andrew in person, the experience of meeting him is truly amazing. When I first met Andrew, he could so tell that I was nervous. He asked me what my name was, what got me into the character of Spider-Man. I told him what I do as a character on YouTube, my Daily Beagle Spidey page, and working with Stan Lee. And I thought that maybe he was going to cut me off like most celebs do, because there were others waiting. And I was just, chatting with him about everything, and it felt like 10 minutes or so. But he took his time with everyone. He didn't rush anyone off. He wasn't mean to anybody. And he even wanted to see my Spider-Man mask, and I can't believe that he actually remembered me when I was working on set of the sequel and at the red carpet premiere for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Emma Stone is exactly the same way, and it's no wonder on how these two ended up together, because they're both genuine professionals and just very nice people. They actually really care about the fans. Yet I've met so many celebrities that honestly are just putting on a show. And you could tell from the vibe that you feel that they just could care less about who they meet and just want to say a quick hi, take a photo, sign an autograph, and just be on their way. Meeting Andrew was just as awesome as to when I first met Sam Raimi. Sam is also very passionate about Spider-Man and will talk your head off about him, which is what I love the most. That's why I had such a great time when I started filming on set of Spider-Man 3. I literally kissed the floor when I arrived on set, because I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. And he was also nice enough to put me in a shot when I was on standby for hours, and gave me a line to yell run and pointing at the Sandman, and I was so friggin' happy. Such a nice guy. I know I met Toby at the Spider-Man 3 red carpet premiere. It was very brief, and after that I started recording right when he was leaving, which I captured on video. And let me tell you, he's a whole different person when the cameras are on him, and was a complete asshole on set. He didn't want to be bothered by anyone, or wanting anyone to talk to him, and he even denied a kid who was on set and really wanted to meet him, which was such a fucking dick move. I mean, the look on a kid's face when they were like, Toby doesn't want to be bothered right now, I was just like, wow, that's fucked up. And I was lucky enough to meet John Watts, who was really cool. And, I told him I really loved his work on the Clowns movie. It reminded me so much of Sam Raimi's work. That's why I was like, all right, I'm really excited to see what you're going to do with this film. So, and it's just a damn shame, because I'm not a fan of his work on the MCU Spider-Man films. I'm like, wow, that just, because when I first met Sam, I knew he was very passionate about the character, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. Let's see what he does. Well, I already seen what he does in the past two films, but at the same time, I was like wondering what he was going to do with Venom and everything, because he explained to me, the whole, he hates Venom and will never see his character in his films. That was all bullshit. I mean, I explained this story a million times, but like I said, I was really, let down, because I'm like, I thought John was passionate about the character just like Sam was, but apparently not. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know much as to what goes on behind the scenes, but I do know that Marvel Studios was forced to improvise with the characters, and that's just pretty much how it happens. So we'll never know if John Watts was actually given freedom, the free creative control that he had, if he would have actually made a good Spider-Man film, but I somehow kind of doubt it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, watch this movie Clowns. It was really, really good. But for some strange reason, I was just not a fan of his work on those films. And Tom Holland was actually very cool to meet. But it wasn't... I didn't get the vibe. It wasn't like meeting Sam Raimi, Andrew Garfield, and Emma Stone. And that's why I will always cherish and respect Andrew Garfield as an actor. And I know I favor Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, but Andrew Garfield nailed it completely as Spider-Man, because it's the first and only time that we actually got a hilarious and quippy Spider-Man, in the same sense that Ryan Reynolds is absolutely perfect as Deadpool, because these two actors can say any line and find a way to make it funny, Look, any actor can recite a line, but if it's not funny or filled with any type of emotion, it just doesn't work, which is why I really don't like Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man in that sense of, being quippy, because, he's not even quippy. He just goes around making pop culture movie references, and, Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man didn't really quip as much. A little bit in the first one, but not, kind of lost in the second and third. And, look, Tobey's version reminds me so much of the classic 90s Spider-Man animated series. Andrew Garfield's version reminds me so much of the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, which is the best cartoon ever made. And the film was actually inspired by it, with Oscorp being responsible for the creation of its villains, even with Electro with the Eels, Gwen Stacy working as Doc Connor's, lab partner. And I've talked about this so many times in my past videos, so I don't need to go over it a million times. And Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man is just a reminder of Disney's Ultimate Spider-Man that, was the worst cartoon ever made. That is more of like a whiny kid that depends on other superheroes and, the friends. And, the majority of times just seem like he doesn't know exactly as to what the hell's going on. And I know that someone actually said that to Tom Holland once. And he joked stating that it's actually because he doesn't know what's going on, because Marvel Studios doesn't tell him shit. Anyway, back on point, Spider-Man Homecoming featured Tony Stark Iron Man. Far From Home featured Nick Fury and Maria Hill, and No Way Home is rumored to feature Doctor Strange. I do have some news. Another MCU character, well, to be exact, 3 of them, will be added to the list on a future Spider-Man film. Now, if this story actually happens in a Marvel Studios Spider-Man film, it will definitely bang at the box office and make Spidey fans' senses go completely apeshit. And one of the MCU characters I did mention as a villain in one of my past fan support videos. So, here are the 3 MCU characters that will be featured in a future Marvel Studios Spider-Man film.
Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Woo!